All right. Hey,
Let me unmute myself. How's everybody doing? You know what day today is? It is none other than Water Cooler Wednesday.
everybody. Exactly.
Well,
And we are so
it's not quite
excited.
tea, but it's cool and refreshing.
Right. It's cool, all right. It's cool outside. If you're in Chicago,
That's right.
the weather has
Ooh, you better
changed
believe
so
it.
drastically.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. That was
Yeah, we change seasons pretty much overnight.
very quickly, very quickly. I don't know why I'm acting brand new. Like, I'm
Right.
actually surprised about it. Like, I
It's
know.
not like this is a first, right?
Yeah, like I really did. Like I'm like, oh, why is it so cold? Why is it so cold? It's
That's right. It
October.
is October. It's
It's
October.
October. It's October, and you
For
know that.
so long, it didn't feel like October. We still had in the 80s earlier
Yes,
this month.
yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that didn't really
And
quite feel like
normally it
October.
is because like my birthday's in the end of September, so I pay
Mhm.
attention to October very, very
Okay.
and which is why I should already know this. Like I should already know why, that it's gonna get warm and around like,
Yes.
right after my birthday. Because my birthday is always cold.
Okay.
So it'll get warm and then all of a sudden then it'll get cold back again. And we actually might I've seen it warm during Halloween, like Halloween day and things like that.
Yeah,
That's always kind of like up in the air.
it is.
But
A lot of times it seems like on the 31st we get rain
yes,
because
yeah.
it's still part of the rainy season here. So yeah.
Yes. So that's why we're here talking about the fall, and what all the things, fall maintenance, things that you need to do to make sure that you
Yes.
maintain your home, right?
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of times we may not, homeowners may just not do the things that are necessary. So today we're going to talk about fall maintenance and how it can help you maintain the value of your home.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So
so I got my checklist ready, Dion.
you got it. You got your checklist.
I got my checklist. You got your checklist?
I know, right? I do. I got to start getting it together because we really do need to have that checklist together. So
Right,
but
right.
maybe as discussing these items will help me be ready, be prepared, and get started for this maintenance period.
Yes, and if you're like Dion and you don't have your checklist yet, this might be a good time to do your checklist too.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So we
indeed.
do want to talk today about how, the preventative type maintenance and things like that can help with the value of your home. Because, if you're a homeowner, that's really important. Well, even when you're not, when you get ready to buy, value is important too, obviously. But I think we think more of it from that standpoint when you're actually owning the home.
Mm-hmm.
So preventative maintenance saves money. It preserves resale value. It actually helps your house to be more noticeable. Like if you're in the market right now to sell, then when people come out to look at it, if you have a really well maintained home, they can see, because like I'm sure you've had this
Yeah.
happen like on inspections and things like that, or when sometimes when you first go to the house, you're like, ooh, they
Yes.
haven't really kept this up.
Yeah, you can definitely tell when, as a agent working with buyers, and we're viewing a home, you can definitely tell that someone has maintained their home, right? So, and it makes the buyer more willing to go ahead and present an offer because they know that, okay, this house has been well kept.
Yep, absolutely. And just kind of a little bit of a stat for you guys, neglected maintenance can actually reduce home value by up to 10%.
Yes. So a lot of times, when as a listing agent and I'm working with someone to list their home, uh, the maintenance that might be needed in order to sell your home with for the top value may be too much. So now you're selling as is, or you're selling to your target buyer is an investor or someone that's looking to kind of willing to do a rehab loan. So
Yeah,
they'll come in and take on your maintenance. So that decreases your value because immediately you say as is, immediately you say, I'm not going to do any repairs, then they're not going to give you a top dollar offer.
absolutely. That's a very good point. I didn't even really think of it from that perspective, but you're absolutely right. Because you already know if they say as is, it's a little
Right.
red flag going up. That means something wasn't done, or there's something they're not going to do.
To do.
Because if
Yeah.
they say as is, they're not going to fix stuff, and everybody knows because we've told you all enough times now. But everybody knows that when you have a home inspection, it's going to come back with something. If your
Yeah.
home inspection comes back and says everything is perfect, get a new home inspector because he missed something.
He didn't do his job right.
Right,
The home
right.
inspector's job is to find something. So don't expect it if they come with nothing, they're probably not a good inspector. So
Exactly.
right, they gotta have something on that page. So
Right, right.
right. We ready to get started with our first thing?
Absolutely. It's on you.
All right. The first thing is to clean the gutters and check your roof. Right.
Oh
So
boy.
those are very important, especially when going into the winter, into the rainy season, things like that. You want to make sure that all the leaves are out of your gutters, because once the water starts to kind of pour down, you want it to go through the pipes. I don't know what is it called, like the
Going through the gunners, right?
through the
So
gutter, right through the
yeah,
gutters and out into your grass. So a lot of times, a home inspector might say that you want an extender so that when it goes through the gutter line and comes out onto the ground, you want to extend it beyond your home. So
yeah.
the thing is, you want to make sure that the leaves are all out of the gutter system so that you can definitely that water can go
Flow
all the way
freely. Right. You need
freely
it to
out.
flow freely away from the house.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Because when you don't, then you start to have issues with your windows, because or it tears out your tuck pointing of your home. So then certain areas of the house don't look like it's been tuck pointed.
Mhm.
So it's really important to make sure you clean out the gutters of your home. And
Yeah.
then with the roof, you should always have somebody come and just do a professional give you a
Yes.
uh, certification of your roof, right? So they will walk your roof and let you know if there's any soft spots. So
Yeah.
then maybe they might be able to fix just that small area and not wait so long and have to do a whole
Oh,
new roof.
yeah. Tear off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, going kind of circling back a little bit to the gutters, you went through that so fast. I thought about something my mom said as you were talking. She always tells me, she still says it to this day, water is the enemy of your home.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So,
Because before you know, water standing, or water not being able to freely flow through your system, your septic
mhm,
system and things like that, can cause all kind of problems. People are always afraid of foundation issue. Well, guess what? Foundation issues usually come from
on the water, right?
water, right?
And the home inspector, we were just talking about this, is like water is going to find a place, right? They're
Yeah.
going to find their way. So a lot of times you might have water coming down and it may not actually be in that area, right? So we're over here looking that there's a soft spot on in the basement, which
Hmm.
is the issue that from my just my recent closing. There was a soft spot in the basement, but when we went outside to look, it really didn't look like it came from right that same
Right
spot.
there, right.
Right.
The
It can
water travel.
right. Water travels and stuff. So it's so gutters are definitely important. Make sure you get all those leaves out. Hire a young kid. You know, we might be a little too old to get up on the ladder right now. I'm
Right.
speaking for
I
myself.
send my son, my 15-year-old, be like, go up there, get them leaves off. Walk around on the roof and get them leaves and stuff. And he like,
Right.
okay.
Okay. Exactly. Right.
He happy to get up on the roof.
Right. So definitely take the time to clean those gutters and make sure that the water's coming down correctly through your spouts and all the
Yeah.
way extended out. And those extenders that I was speaking of,
Mhm.
you can get them from Menards.
Oh
Probably
yeah.
about they're like $8. They're
Yeah.
not
Ace
expensive
Hardware,
at all.
Menards, yep, any of
Right.
those places. Yep.
So just think about it. An $8 investment is a whole lot better than a 200 and $1,000 issue later on down the line.
Yeah. Or 8,000 if you end up having, over time you just let it kind of do what it does and you don't really
Hmm.
do anything to fix it. You can end up having some real serious problems where they have to dig up stuff and reconnect. Like it can water really. My mom is right. Water is the enemy of your house.
It's the enemy, right?
So, and it, like you said, it will find some place to go. So instead of letting it find its own path, you direct it to
Yeah,
where
to
you need it to be.
where it
Yeah.
needs to be.
Yep.
All right. How about what's number two?
Check window caulking, doors, siding, and foundation. So you kind of hit on that a little bit. You started talking a bit about window caulking. So again, this is I guess you would kind of put this all into insulation, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking about insulation, making sure that we keep the cold out because it is about to be wintertime. We don't want the cold. We don't want the rain. We
Yeah.
don't want the leaves. We all that outside stuff. We want it to stay outside.
Stay outside. Right. Stay
Right.
outside.
Yeah,
So
stay outside.
right. It's good to have the caulking in because a lot of times you might start to feel the draft in your
Mhm.
home.
Yep.
And so right now and then so then now you gotta turn up the furnace
Oh
and so
yeah.
then right
Because you ain't gonna be in your own house code.
exactly like me yesterday. I said, please turn on the heat, right?
I
I
know
had to
he's
do a little
right.
begging yesterday.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Well,
We
yeah,
tell you the truth.
I ain't gotta beg. I'm not gonna be in my house and be cold.
Yes,
Like,
it's
why you
right.
turn on your heat already? Cause it's cold. That's why I turned it
Oh,
on.
right.
Well, it's only September. I don't care what the date is. I care what the temperature is. That's what determines if I'm gonna turn on the heat.
Either not, right. But when you caulk your windows, when you get your windows professionally caulked on the sides and stuff, then that helps keep the draft out from your
Yeah.
windows. It keeps the water out. Because
Hmm.
sometimes you could start to have water coming in,
Excuse me.
um, through there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's not only along the windows, but the siding, making sure your siding is good, checking out the foundation because small leaks can easily equal a higher heating bill.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you have any kind of water damage, stuff getting in, that condensation and things like that, then, that can end up being something else that's, another bill. So you want a tip that would be helpful to know is just add weather stripping, do seal around outlets and things like that. All of those kind of things would be helpful for insulating your house.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. All right. Well, we're on number three. So,
5.
it's number three. We're only on suggestion number three. Five,
Right.
five on our script. Excuse us. Five. Right. Number three, furnace and chimney checkups. Right. So definitely make sure you check on your furnace. Every year before it gets cold because they like, your HVAC guy, he's gonna charge you more when it's cold outside, and then because they think of it
Yeah.
as an emergency. So
Yep.
this is a good time to go ahead, call the HVAC guy, ask him or girl, Ask them to come and check out your furnace. You know, clean your
Mhm.
furnace. Typically, maybe it might be about a $80 expense.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
I've seen even those coupon things they send you in the mail, the value
mm,
pack or whatever. They usually say they're about $80. Like they 79.99. You'll get your tune up for your heat your for the winter. You'll get prepared for winter. Usually about 79, eighty
right.
dollars, like you
So
said.
they'll come and they'll clean out your furnace, and then they'll you know, you should always have a new filter
Mm-hmm.
available, because you need to change your filters out. Probably, I don't know for sure, like I would say maybe every 3 months, you know, every 2 or 3 months or whatever.
That's what I would say too. Every 60 to 90 days, probably for
Mhm.
your filter. And you'll know it because when you pull it up and look at it, it's just like looking at the filter in your car,
Yeah,
whatever filter that goes to. But I've seen it when it's dirty. So
yeah.
you can tell it's a different color. So you can see the grayish, from the dirt and dust and everything on it. When it's that color, you need to throw it away and replace it with a new one.
Every person, and that's a simple thing to do. So you call
Yeah,
the
even I can do
professional.
that. I do my filter, girl.
You do your filter right. I
Yeah.
leave all that stuff to my husband, but yeah, you could definitely, you know, you call the HVAC guy, call them before the winter, call them before the summer, make sure they come
Yeah.
out and check your systems, make sure they
Mhm.
look, you know, looks good. And then actually, and you change your filters out, you know, every 60, 90, you
60,
know,
90 days. Yeah.
90 days. And so I've had there was a client of mine recently. We were looking at a house and the furnace was really old. It was more than 25 years old.
Mm.
But the thing about it is, you could tell we talking about well maintained home. The
Mhm.
furnace had been so well maintained that even the inspector really didn't find anything wrong with the furnace. He was
Wow.
like, all I can say is it's old. He was like, it's old, you
Okay.
know. He said, but I can really tell that they maintained this furnace. And so it was like great. And the my buyer's father was actually a HVAC person as well. And he was there saying the same thing, like, wow, this is really like
Okay.
they really did a well job. So you know,
Impressive.
people say you got to change your furnace, like, you know, every 25 years. So it's
Yeah.
the older ones lasted a lot longer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now you may have to change them a lot sooner, but if you
They
maintain
don't make
it,
them like they used to.
they don't make them like they
Yeah.
used to. Right.
Actually, the house that we live in right now, when I bought this house in 2019, I think my furnace was about 30 years old.
Hmm. Yeah.
But so the guy said, he said, well, technically, I have to tell you that it's beyond its life expectancy.
Yeah.
Like I have to tell you that because I'm licensed and I have to tell you that it's beyond its life expectancy and that you really should have a new one. But realistically, there's nothing mechanically wrong with this. And
Yeah.
I just replaced my furnace last year.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kept it another 4 years before
After that.
I had
Yeah,
to, right.
right. And then, and by maintaining it, changing your filter out regularly,
Yeah.
that those things help out a lot.
They go a long way. You would be surprised. Those little maintenance things, they actually go a long way. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Something else that we could also focus on, because we're still talking about the value and how things look, is just as simple as what we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks: raking the leaves, trimming the branches, so they're away from the roof. You don't want to have
Yeah.
the potential of branches, because like today I was looking outside and I noticed it was pretty windy today. So today is one of
Hmm.
those days where probably on some of these older trees are beautiful. They're so tall and they look real strong and everything, but when they get so old, the top is not
Yes.
as strong.
Right. It's
Right.
not. Yes.
So you get a harsh enough wind, they can knock off some branches and limbs and things like that. So instead of waiting and being reactive to stuff like that happen, it's better just trim it like you're supposed to,
Hmm.
so you don't have branches hanging over your roof. Break up the leaves and things like that, obviously. So one, just aesthetically it looks nice, but also, keeping it away from being able to block up pathways, for your water and things like that. Draining hoses and covering outdoor faucets right around this time of year is, good to do that as well. And
Yeah.
then if, you were a person that had, like me, I put furniture out on my deck. So if you're one of those people, you go,
Time to
okay,
bring it in.
yep, time to bring it in. Yep, you
Right.
want to
Put
cover
it
it up, do something.
storage.
So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Put it
that's the
in
way.
storage. Cover them up. Right. But I
Yep.
wanted to talk about the trees trimming and things.
Yeah.
So with especially when you're being out with buyers and they're looking at houses and the branches
Yeah.
are sitting on the roof of the house,
Yeah.
it is always called on a home inspection.
Mm. Okay.
Always,
Yeah.
right? So definitely make sure, like Lisa's saying, make sure your trees are trimmed um, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I've seen where my friend had a big tree in a backyard that got hit, they get hit by lightning,
Oh
they
boy.
fall on, right, they fall onto the roof,
Yeah.
or even just that the tree, you can see sometimes that the tree looks like it's starting to split away from the other for the rest of the tree because the might be older,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whereas that tree comes and hits onto the roof.
Okay.
So
Wow.
basically protect your roof, right?
Right.
Protect your
The
roof,
long and
right?
short of it is.
Right. Protect your roof because trees can definitely do a lot of damage,
Yeah.
to your home and stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, I had one client that was like, "Oh, I want to live in Park Forest." I said, oh, "Okay, but I don't want any trees."
Mm.
Park Forest. I was like, "Not gonna
I
happen."
love that.
Looks like not gonna happen, right? So,
Right. Probably not very likely. Not in
right,
Park
right,
Forest.
right. Park Forest. I think we need to look somewhere else, right? Like they were determined for Park Forest. Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
all right, all right. So the number five, right? We're on the fifth one. Fifth tip is test your fifth tip. Test
Good tip.
your safety devices, right? So it's
Okay.
always important to test your smoke detector and your carbon monoxide detector,
Yeah.
especially during this time. A lot of people you might use a space heater. The space heaters are known to cause fires.
Mhm.
You have your furnace. Your furnace can give off some carbon monoxide, so you want to make sure that all those your detectors are actually working.
Yeah.
When you have maybe you own a multi-unit, right? And you're the landlord. Don't forget about your tenants. You need to make sure that they you actually go and test and make sure that they're still working
Yeah.
because sometimes the tenants may take the batteries out because when they're cooking, it goes off and it
Yeah,
causes
that's
a
true.
problem, right?
Mhm.
So you can maintain your own home, but if as a landlord, that's definitely one of the most important things that you want to make sure because you don't you don't want your tenant to burn down your property.
Yes, right.
Right.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure October is also fire prevention month, fire safety awareness month. One of the yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
So
definitely,
timely tip.
yeah. So make sure just take a moment, go check them out, replace the batteries. They even have some if you want, you can have some that are electrically connected to your electrical system, right? So no more battery. You just know that you have it wired and you can get a wired smoke detector, wired carbon monoxide detector. And I
Mhm.
would say, as a landlord, that's probably your best bet. You don't have to. Oh, sorry, you don't have to worry about your tenants and what they're gonna do and stuff. So
Yeah. That's true. I didn't even know you could do that. See how
Yeah,
far behind I am.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the other thing is review your home owner's insurance. So you should
Very
always,
good.
right,
Yep.
you should always review your homeowner's insurance. I think, especially as homeowners, I think that's something that people just kind of automatically pay. It's included in your mortgage, and
Right.
so then you don't think anything of it, but you should really be looking at it because over you've been paying this amount for over 20 years, and maybe you could find a discount or lower price somewhere else. So I would say every 5 years or something, at least call an
Insurance
insurance
agent.
person.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do a little check in with them, make sure you have everything you need. Um,
Right.
right, there's different insurance. A lot of times people will talk about flood insurance
Mm-hmm.
and so and there's different types of insurance, like so you could say flood insurance, but that might people might be thinking that's more or less if you live in a flood zone, but you want to make sure that you have a add-on for your basement in case your basement might take water,
So
right?
that would be water backup. Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So Lisa has insurance background, so I was waiting for her to kick
Just a
in.
little.
Right,
Okay.
but yeah, so then so you want that add-on for your insurance, especially if you're starting to notice like your basement is backing up, or the city has done something different that causes water to start to come into your basement, because
Yes.
that's what they do.
Right. That is what they do for real.
Right.
So we covered a few. We covered gutters, clogged gutters, inspecting shingles and things like that. We
Mhm.
covered insulation, checking the window caulking for doors, siding, and foundation. We also cover HVAC,
Right.
replacing filters, checking the furnace, having a professional come out and clean and inspect the chimneys and things like that. And we also talked about draining hoses and covering outdoor faucets, storing your patio furniture, raking leaves, and trimming them branches so
Yeah.
they are not going to do anything to your roof. And then we also talked about testing the carbon monoxide detectors, the smoke detectors, replacing batteries, and reviewing your homeowner's insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Those
if you
are good tips.
Right. So if you're interested in getting that list, put checklists in the comments below, and we'll send you a list. So you could go on the YouTube. You could also do it. This will be on Facebook. So
Yep.
just put checklists in the comments, and we'll send you a checklist of all the maintenance tips, 5 tips that you need to know for keeping your home well maintained. Keep that value, because when you're ready to sell, you're gonna what? You're gonna give me a call. And then I can definitely help you and make sure let you know what the value of your home is. So if you have any questions about what my home is worth, I can tell you. We can look at what the market is, and based off of the market, we determine what your price is. A lot of times, I have to give you a lower price when we start to consider things like as is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but then after we determine what your value is, and you're looking for the next place to go,
The next place.
right? You're gonna give Lisa a call, and she's gonna talk to you about getting you pre-approved, whether you can sell your house um, first, or if you're able
If
to
you can
buy
buy
a house
without
and
selling.
then
Yeah.
take it out. Right. And
We'll
that's
have to
called
figure it out.
contingent. Right. Contingency. All right. So
Mhm.
are you contingent on selling your home in order to buy a home? All right. So we are so excited. Okay. I was like, what time? And we thank you for joining us. And we ask you to like and subscribe to our channel. We love for you to come and join us every week. We're here every
Every week,
Wednesday. Every Wednesday,
6
6 p.m.
o'clock Central Time. Join us
Yeah,
right here.
right here. Water Cooler Wednesday. Thank you.
See y'all next week.